Hi.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to MangaPod. We are a weekly podcast in which we all get together after we read all or part of a manga, and then we discuss it with friendship, love, and lots of spoilers. I am your host, Erin of HappiLeeErin, and with me are two of my three lovely co-hosts, tends to be the normal nowadays, as well as a gorgeous, lovely, special guest.
Yay!
Yeah, go ahead and introduce yourselves, starting with Dodger, and then we'll end with our pretty guest.
Hello, I'm Dodger, and I have a mug that says poop on it. Oh, it's backwards, isn't it?
No.
Or is it not?
No, it's good.
It's backwards for
No,
me.
it's fine.
Oh, no, you're good.
Okay, cool. Poop. Good. I'm glad that joke landed.
Perfect.
Yes.
I'm glad the poop landed. Yes.
Thank goodness. God, I was so concerned.
Dazza?
Hi, I'm getting there. Hi, I'm Dazza from Fine Flip-On, and I just want to point out this is our 69th MangaPod.
Woo! This is sexual.
And I'd also like to point out, I'm with three girls. It doesn't get any more better than this, I don't think.
That's not what you were saying when we were talking about
I was gonna say,
candles.
it's not gonna
That
take
is
you long to
not.
be like, where's Yoku? I miss Yoku.
Well, it's because we started talking, and you're like, oh, we're wearing the same clothes and the same hair, and I'm just sitting here like, it is too early in the
Dodger
morning
and
to
I-
deal
Aaron and I
with
wore
females.
like the same outfit today.
Almost exactly.
Yeah.
The only difference was our shirts and what our
crazy.
scarves are. Yeah, we wore the same fitted tee, and then we both had scarves, and we both had high-waisted gray skirts.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful friendship in action, okay?
It was crazy. You don't get it.
Don't even understand, Dazza.
I don't, because I put on a t-shirt, jeans. Every guy wears the same thing every day. We don't have these high-fitted skirt things.
You should try one on sometime.
I was gonna say, you might really like them.
Mm-hmm.
They're very flowy and airy.
Yeah, they're very freeing.
Very freeing. Sorry.
Erica.
Erica,
Yeah.
hi.
Hi. Hello. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah.
Erica, I have a YouTube channel. That's just my name, Erica Sabo. I cover video games and anime. And yeah, I'm happy to be back on here. I'm so happy to talk about Claymore with all of you too.
Yay! Yes, because you joined us for Tokyo ESP.
Yes, I did.
That's right.
It's really fun. Yeah.
We're happy you came back.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. If you've never joined us for a MangaPod before, what we like to do is give you our spoiler-free description, and then we'll give you a spoiler-free recommendation from each one of us, whether we think you should spend time reading the manga or not. Then you can decide if you do not want to be spoiled on this manga. You can take your leave, go read, and then come back and watch the VOD of this right here on my channel, youtube.com/HappiLeeErin. If you don't care about spoilers, you are welcome to join us, all that fun stuff, but you have been warned. Also, please do note that we only read up to chapter 24, so please do not post any spoilers for either the anime or past chapter 24 of the manga. You don't even pretend to post spoilers, because we don't know if those are real spoilers, and you'll get,
we don't know.
banned. You'll get banned, and that's not a good. That's
Don't
not
be a
happy.
rotten bacon butt.
Yeah, don't be a rotten
Yeah.
bacon butt.
This is YouTube. You don't get timeouts. You literally just get banned.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's messed
Sorry.
up, man. This is the world we live in.
Yep.
Oh God, my eyes.
Yeah, I was wondering how long you're gonna be able to hold that.
Oh God, that hurt.
Erica, would you mind giving us our super spoiler-free description, please?
Sure. Okay. In a world constantly haunted by demonic predators known as Yoma, the everyday life of humans is full of fear and suspicion, as these monsters easily blend into human society to hunt their hapless prey. However, in this world, there is also a mysterious organization employing half-human, half-Yoma warriors to effectively track down and kill the demons, called Silver-Eyed Witches or Claymores, after the huge Claymore swords they carry. These female warriors are eyed with suspicion and distrust by most because of their inhuman powers. But there are many currents flowing in the shadows from the mysterious machinations of the Claymore organization and the twisted ambitions of the powerful abyssal ones to the hopes and desires of each Claymore warrior. The story follows the fate of Claire, one of the Claymore operatives, as she sails deeper and deeper down the currents of conspiracies and revenge.
Yeah! Woo!
I like to read a couple times, but I can read kind of.
Yay!
You'll fit right
You're
in.
doing better than what I can do. That's for sure.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and give our spoiler-free recommendation. Would anybody like to go first? Anyone want to volunteer? I can go if not.
Go for it.
I highly recommend this manga. I had a lot of... This is one of those manga that since we started MangaPod, people have been recommending and telling us to read. Always, like every recommendation thread, every MangaPod, people are saying, please read Claymore. It's fantastic and it's way better than the anime of Claymore. Like anime doesn't do manga justice. And so I had high expectations for it, and it fit right in with the kind of manga I absolutely love, which I really enjoy the gory fantasy, makes you think about society manga that has really, really fun action scenes and also really interesting characters that carry those scenes. So what we read I thought was really fantastic, and I would highly recommend it, and I cannot wait to read more of it. So I say go read it, and it's something you don't want to be spoiled on, specifically like the last few chapters that we read.
Oh, definitely.
So,
Can I go next?
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that, Erin. I really like alternative fantasy. The darker, the better. I like having a lot of gore, a lot of violence. It just adds to it that much more. And this has a lot of that, but it also offers you a lot to think about, like, in like even like to an in like existential sense. Like it's really, really thought-provoking in a lot of ways, in the way it kind of expresses different characters' sense of loss and the way they each deal with loss and how it affects them as people. So I thought it was really, really, really great. And I haven't seen the anime, so I can't really compare the two. But this is a series I've been wanting to read for a really long time, and I'm so happy. Just because I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know how deep it would get or how good it would be, because a lot of people have recommended it to me, but I think it just kind of blew me out of the water. I like how I was able to get into it in a way where I didn't have any expectations. Mm-hmm. So I would highly recommend it if you're looking for good alternative fantasy. Yeah.
Awesome. By the way, really quick, you and I are going to be like best friends because all of the violence and all of the gore is like...
Yeah, I really like horror films too. So it's just like, just kind of mixes with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Daza, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I was going to say just potato heads are awesome, yo.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
That it?
Yeah.
Do you recommend it or not?
Yeah, no, that doesn't answer.
Hey, you can interpret that how you want, but potato heads are awesome, yo. There we go.
Okay.
That's all that needs to be said.
Okay.
I have seen the anime. I watched it maybe like 4 years ago. And I really enjoyed it. And all of my friends at the time were also reading the manga. I had gotten kind of cajoled into watching the anime because they all loved it so much, and everybody was so dissatisfied with the ending of the anime, like usual, that they decided to read the manga. And the general consensus was that it's really, really good, and that the pacing's really, really good. And I definitely agree after finally reading the manga myself. The art is fantastic. And I really enjoy the story and the characters and the way that things play out. It's really engaging. Time flew by really fast while I was reading it, so I would definitely recommend it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. For some reason, I thought Daza hadn't gone yet, so I was like... Daza?
Potato heads are awesome.
I know. I'm sorry. I blanked it out.
How could you forget?
Huh?
It is a really unique character design, though. That's for sure. You know.
Oh yeah.
Like I kind of like that though. I like it when anime or manga can have such unique art. Like, who is it? There's another one who did like Biomega and Blam. Oh crap! I can't remember his name.
I don't know those ones.
But he does like really similar art where the eyes are really far apart and the heads are like looking. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's really unique and cool.
Yeah, the art style is something that stood out to me too. So if you like unique art styles, you'll also like it.
Shall we slap into spoiler section?
Yep, spoiler free countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Priscilla is God.
Yay!
It's always fun to see who you're gonna pick.
I know.
I never know
I don't
anymore.
even want to like be involved anymore. I just want to see who Daz is gonna pick now.
I never know.
I thought Priscilla was the most interesting one to pick this time around.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
she wasn't even there very long. Dude, how excited! I want to see more of her come back. I want more.
Dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
The whole
Let's
last
just
arc
talk
was
about
just-
that last
They
arc.
had
Let's
fan-
talk about the last arc.
Like right off the bat.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the ending right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Listen, I have feelings about it.
Look, guys, if you're here and you haven't read it, it's your own fault, and you only have yourself to blame.
I even counted down. It's not our.
Yeah.
It's not our fault if you're a rotten bacon button. Not doing it at all. I adored that last arc. I could not get through it fast enough. Well, also, I couldn't get through it slow enough because I wanted to take it all in. But at the same time, I was like, I need to read more. I must keep going.
I wanted to go past where we were because I was like, what's going to happen now? I want to know.
Dude, I knew, okay. It was like, you knew that Teresa was going to die. You got that feeling that was going to happen. But
Yeah.
the fact, like that last
Yeah, because
fight.
otherwise, why would Claire have ever turned into or become
Yeah.
a side witch?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, what? How is she going to die? And she kept beating the other Claymores. So I was like, maybe she's not going to die in what we read. And then all of a sudden her head just gets chopped. I was like,
Dude, it happened
What?
so fast
So
too.
fast.
I know, right? I just was like, my jaw was just, my jaw dropped. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Don't do this.
I am really happy that we decided to read up to chapter 24. Thank you to
Me
everybody.
too.
Thank
Agreed.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you everybody who suggested doing that.
Yeah.
But no, that it was so fast. I think that it was so shocking. Even though you were expecting it, it was so shocking, which I think is has a testament to how good that like the writing of that is, because
Yeah.
it's very hard to get somebody to be shocked when they're expecting something to happen.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's cool because since it happened in a flashback, it didn't feel Monster of the Week-y. Because
Yes.
up to that point, we had talked about how the Silver-Eyed Witches could turn into Yoma if they let their power like overwhelm them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if it had happened in that sequence along the timeline of like, yeah, we can turn into Yoma, or we can turn into fucking badass monsters who totally have control over ourselves, like that would have seemed super. I need to ramp up the story, I guess. But since it happened in a flashback, it's like, no, Claire knows that like that sort of a thing is existing and can happen,
Yeah.
you know? So it totally changes. I feel like overall it makes you think back and it changes how all of the Claymores must view themselves and like what could happen to them,
Yeah.
you know?
Definitely. That's why they're so like if they know that they're gonna turn, they just want to go like immediately,
They want to
just so just so that something like that doesn't happen. But it also makes me wonder then too, like how much more has that progressed? Like that this new like, is there an actual name for that monster that Priscilla turned into, or did they give?
Wasn't awoken or
They
ascended?
just said
Awoken?
it's an awoken one.
Yeah, like in all those years that had passed after that, and now in the present, I just it's kind of scary to think like I wonder how those creatures have progressed.
Yeah.
That I don't like. I mean, how would you even beat something like that? Like that's terrifying to think that something so above you already, and to just evolve that much further. Like that's terrifying.
See, I was reminded back when Priscilla flew away. I was reminded back to when that other Yoma was flying away. I'm like,
Yes.
maybe Claire thought that was kind of the same kind of thing, and then attacked a lot more.
Yeah. Dude, when she threw the like sword through him.
Oh my god. I
know.
loved every time she'd use her Yoma abilities and the musculature on her
Yeah.
would be so much more defined. Like it just
Yes.
added something to it where you were just like, whoa, she is ripped right now.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah,
So cool.
she is
Right?
getting more power.
Yeah, she is gonna throw down real hard right now.
Mhm.
It's cool.
I really liked just there were so many the action scenes were really fun to read through. Like there were a few times where I thought, okay, how many more heads can they just slice off? Like how many more heads are gonna get cut?
Yeah.
All of them.
All of them.
No.
Always. So there's times where I thought that it was a little repetitive, but almost every time I still had a lot of fun reading them, and I still felt some tension there, especially with the last arc. That was where the most tension of who was gonna win. Is Teresa actually gonna win, or is she gonna get killed?
Right.
But what were your guys' thoughts on the? Oh, Daz is talking. What's happening? What were
What's
you?
up?
What's up?
How you doing,
How
Deza?
There's like a giant truck outside. I'm waiting for a package, so it could be for me.
Oh.
Ah.
What are your guys'
So-
thoughts on the action scenes?
A lot of times in with action scenes, I have trouble with it in manga because it's very choppy. But here, I actually felt like I could put the frames together and really envision it in my mind. However, that's still like while I really like that, it still doesn't stop me from being curious about the anime now too and seeing the action there.
Yeah.
Definitely, I love.
That's one thing I always have when I'm reading manga. It's just like, would this look better animated or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Would it get the Attack on Titan treatment and just look like so much better?
So much better.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I like what Erica was saying earlier. The art style is so specific. Like,
Yeah.
it's very clean and there's a lot of space to it. It's not cluttered or requiring a lot of definition. So I feel like whenever those action sequences do happen, it's not muddy at all because there isn't the mangaka isn't forced to like continue on with the same amount of detail. You know, they're able to kind of let the actions breathe a bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. The art is. I thought the art was really unique, like you were saying, Erica. I love. It's gonna sound so silly. I love the detail of the eyelashes, like their eyes, and also like the hair. I don't know. I just loved the like how it looked so shiny, like you could touch it.
Yeah, I kept staring at their mouths.
Their
I
mouths.
was like,
Oh my
God,
God.
everybody's just got like perfect little lips. They're just like shiny and shit. I was like, all right.
See, I couldn't get over their foreheads. They were giant potato heads.
Oh, that's
the
where
only
that
thing
came
I could
from.
think about.
I was trying when you said that. I was like, did they talk about potato heads in the manga? I'm gonna nod and pretend like I know what you're talking about.
Because they remind me of Akira. Like,
Yeah, I get that feel too.
With the just like
Yeah, and
the really high up
The like.
It's just like-
hairline.
it's like here is their face,
It's me!
and
It's
here
me!
is their forehead.
Yeah.
Basically,
I'm a
it's just a
potato head!
manga from Eric.
Yay!
I'm a Claymore.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not a Claymore because I would never call myself a Claymore. I messed
That's
up.
true.
I messed up.
Fucked up
You're a
already.
Yoma.
And the claymores were all so pretty too. I mean,
Gorgeous.
they're said to look very pretty, very like almost doll-like and frail, right?
Yeah.
But they're just like they're so pretty to look at. Like they're obviously the highlight or the spotlight when you look at them compared to just any of like the village folk or anything like that. But I guess they're supposed to stand out in that way. They're supposed to kind of be envisioned as these almost alien people, these hybrids, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think later on they explain why they're all girls, or maybe there are boy ones. I can't even remember now.
They said that
Yeah.
the males they die,
They
like
said
they
the
Yeah.
males,
Yeah, they
like,
can't
yeah.
handle the
Really as
Yoma.
long?
So-
Yeah.
Yeah,
The males
yeah.
can't handle. The females are the only ones who survive.
That's right.
But
That's
then
right.
it makes me wonder, like the man in black or like any of those other people, like you never really see their faces, right? So I'm
Yeah.
wondering, like, are those,
Yeah,
are
and
those, like male like claymores?
and they've been referring to themselves as claymores too,
yeah,
which is weird because they don't refer to themselves as claymores. So
Yeah.
I don't understand.
They're so weird. It's like,
Mhm.
what is happening with this? It's a
Yeah.
mystery.
yeah, but they all look kind of, I don't know, they look like they're all kind of disfigured in a way. So
Mhm.
maybe it's just something that kind of consumes them and then kills them. But I mean, they all seem to be older too, or maybe they're younger but they look older because I don't know.
Maybe they're
Yeah.
like, maybe they're the guys who tried to become Claymore and are the only ones that survived. They just said that all the guys died, but they just got horribly disfigured.
Yeah.
Or that.
Or
No.
maybe they're Yoma. They're rebelling against their people.
Mm.
Oh.
Maybe.
You know, I definitely got the impression in a few of the chapters. I don't remember which ones exactly, but that the Yoma, there's kind of a gray area for them because there were some Yoma that were living amongst like the people in the village, and they didn't seem like they were really hurting people to the same degree as some of these other Yomas
No,
were.
that
They
was
were eating people in the town next door
next to
so
them.
that they could
Oh, right,
safely
that's
live
what
in
it
the
Yeah.
was.
other town. Yeah.
I wonder if there are Yomas though that are like less violent or trying to rebel. You know, like
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see if there is something like that. I think it'd be really cool if there was kind of like a gray area or
Kind of like a
something.
Tokyo Ghoul scenario.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or like Shinsekai Yori. They that's a really good
Yeah.
anime where they covered kind of the ambiguities of
Yeah.
who is actually the enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I was thinking as I was reading. It wasn't that it like bugged me too much, but I was like, I wish that like I wonder if there's a manga out there where half human, half monster of some sort is killing shit and protecting people, and the people aren't like, God, they're monsters. We should really not talk to them. Like, is there
Yeah.
something like? Cause like, I'm like, if I saw somebody who was half monster, half whatever, but they were killing shit and just protecting me, I would not try and like disown them or anything. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I know it's like a question. It's like questioning society and everything too. But I
Yeah,
was
not
just
only
like, I
that, but
wonder.
they kept saying that looking into their eyes was like terrifying. Like there
Yeah.
was just like a pressure to being around them, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it's like
I
if
was
you're
just
being
thinking it
hunted by
wasn't
something.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just wondering. I was just curious. I was like, that's because it's
Yeah,
a very
I can't think
reoccurring
of one
theme.
though.
There's a
Yeah.
very
I'm trying to think.
reoccurring theme that it happens, which like it's not a bad thing that it's brought up in like a theme in numerous manga because each manga tells the story differently. But it was just something I was thinking about. I was like, I wonder if there is one that everybody just loves the people that are half monsters, half humans that kill shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about Rocky. Rocky? What was his name?
Rocky, yeah.
Yeah.
Racky.
Rocky.
Dude,
Yeah.
if you watch the anime, he is the most annoying character in the world. He's like the standard constantly crying ingenue character. Like it's
No.
amazing. But like in the manga, it was so much better. I was like, "Oh, Rocky, you're just like a sweet kid who like, is attached to Claire and you want her to be safe and whatever else." In the anime, you're like, "Can this kid die already?" Like he's awful.
Oh
So I'm
boy.
so glad that he's so much better in the manga.
I do like that we saw that and then we saw the flashback. Like we saw Claire
Yeah.
and Rocky get together, start walking together, and then we saw the flashback because it gave you an idea about why it was so easy for him to team up with, like why she
Yeah.
brought him along so easily. It wasn't this really long struggle. Like there were some times where she's like, you really shouldn't be with me, and he was like, no, I'm gonna be with you. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna do what I want. Do what I want. So it wasn't that I really liked seeing that dynamic, like seeing that parallel that happened.
Well, it's kind of like that dynamic between Teresa and Claire as well, and I'm sure that was kind of reflected on it too, because Teresa was, I didn't like Teresa at first. I'm like, oh, she's such a bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, she was super
And the way she warms up, it really like made an impact, and it made it that much more meaningful, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, because I was
Yeah,
thinking
oh
that.
my God. Sorry, Erin.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the scene when she's like, "Look what my body looks like, you bitches." And then Claire like hugs her, is like, "Does it hurt?" I was like, "Ah!" I
Those
was,
are like the
feeling
first
so-
words that Claire say, and then Teresa's
I
like,
know.
she was feeling sorry for me.
And then they like hug it out
Ah!
in a distance shot. I was like, precious.
It's so
Yeah.
sweet.
Like so many feelings. I loved it.
Aw.
The reason why I really liked the flashback was because I didn't actually think it was a flashback to start off with.
Oh, me neither.
Yeah, I liked that
Like-
too.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure where the manga was going because I was like, are we just going to focus on one Claymore or all the Claymore or like go to different parts? So I was thinking we were going to different like other Claymore and like following them around to their travels. So what I really like about like this really cool Claymore, I'm just like, oh, this is interesting. I mean, I don't really care about her. And then she got a child. I'm like, this is a good comparison. And then she's like, I'm going to call you Claire. Then I'm like, oh, no.
I know, I was like, what an odd coincidence. That other Claymore's name is Claire.
Yeah.
Because it didn't hit me like because they got different hairstyles and the kid Claire looks different than the adult Claire, and I'm just like,
Yeah. But
what
when
my?
they become claymores, didn't they did they mention something about how they all go blonde as well?
Yeah.
Like their eye colors change and they all go
Yeah,
Yeah.
blonde. Yeah.
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 It's interesting. Hmm.
because they said something. There was it Teresa that was talking about their black hair or something,
Yeah, black hair.
Yeah.
and how
Black
she had
hair and
beautiful,
black
wonderful black
eyes.
hair that got destroyed when she became a Claymore.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think my favorite Teresa moments. I had a lot of favorite Teresa moments, but one of my favorites was the part where she was facing off against all the Claymores, and she was like, "I'm sorry," and then you're like, "Oh no, she's gonna die," and then next one she goes, "I'm not ready to die yet," and she kills all of them. And you're like, "Shit!"
I know.
Yeah. So
No,
good.
she didn't kill him though. She incapacitated.
Oh no, that's right.
Which
She
is even better.
incapacitated him. Yeah, she like, yeah, she incapacitated.
She's
Yeah,
like, oh,
because
they
they
go
made-
with power. We'll just fix them up. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they made a point later of mentioning that like the old Teresa would have killed everybody without even thinking about it, but like she was holding back.
It is an interesting thing about the that they can't kill Claymores are not supposed to kill humans. Like it's a law. They're not a rule. They're not supposed to kill humans. And so you're thinking, you're like, those people were terrible. They were gonna kill, like they killed all of these people. Yet now she has to pay this price for killing them because they weren't Yomu. So it's like another interesting commentary on certain society stuff.
Yeah, it did make sense though. For
Oh, yeah.
like I totally I find it completely believable that the organization would have a law like that.
Yeah.
Because again, everyone is fucking terrified of them.
Yeah.
You know? So having a law like that makes it so that people at least feel a little bit at ease.
Yeah, I think what I was thinking, like, I completely agree. Like, completely believable. It's just the completely black and white view of it
yeah.
is what I was thinking about.
Yeah. Because I guess they're supposed to live outside of normal human problems, right? Like their only existence is for killing Yomu and that's it.
Yeah.
And they're not supposed to interfere with anything else. They're supposed to let the world just go on.
Yeah.
And it's like,
As horrible as it may be.
yeah, and it's like, man, you can't do that.
Yeah.
There's shit going on.
It's really intense. It's really intense.
Well, they're like much stronger than humans. So it like I said, it makes sense that the law would be a thing because they can easily overpower any human that attacks them.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Definitely.
Well, I hate the whole black and white scenario though. It's like, but they were bastards and they were gonna hurt Claire,
Yeah.
and I was just saving more
Yeah.
people. You know?
Yeah. Exactly. I was like, why? Like, just listen,
Yeah.
hear her out. She's number one. Just hear her out.
Yeah.
See,
wouldn't do
what
it.
I was hoping was that the bandits would turn into Yomu, like they get corrupt, like their souls get corrupted or whatever, and then humans can turn into Yomu by that sort of scenario.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Yeah.
hoping would happen, but that didn't happen. I'm just like, oh, okay.
I know. The one who lost his arm when he was trying to attack Teresa later, I thought he had turned into a Yoma or something.
Yeah.
Because his face
God.
got messed up.
There
Yeah.
was- no, he turned into one, and then he wasn't. And it's like that made me think too. It's like is this kind of a commentary on morals?
We're the real
Yeah.
monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
monsters, exactly.
Yeah. I was thinking about that too. I was like, was that supposed to show that people can turn into Yomu, or was it supposed to be like a commentary on what our souls are like and the comparison of,
Yeah.
who we are as
Are we
people,
humans?
morality
or are
and
we
stuff.
monsters?
Ah! Or are we dancers?
Or are we dancers?
And then Claymore just becomes a musical.
Yay! And everybody's happy.
Maybe the part where the bandit was like looked Yomu, maybe we were supposed to be seeing it through like Teresa's eyes and she like seeing it as he is no better than a Yomu.
Maybe.
Something like that.
Maybe.
The most interesting, a lot of the Yomus were very Monster of the Weeky, didn't have much going for them, all kind of looked the same. But the one that was really interesting was the church.
The church
one
one,
where
yeah.
he was a dead
Yeah.
body, and he was so skeevy, creepy. He was so creepy. The way he walked, I was like, ah!
Yeah, he was just like really long limbs and a really big body and just
He
I was
reminded
like,
me of
"Ah."
a Titan. He reminded me of a Titan.
Yeah,
Mhm.
totally.
Terrifying. Did you guys that fight was interesting with the two guards that came in? What did you guys think about that stuff? That part? Any
I find
thoughts?
it a little bit. I find it a little bit weird that Claire, because she's known to be like the biggest badass, wouldn't think that he'd be a dead body. I would have thought she would have checked those kind of things beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I guess it's not something that occurs very often, you know?
yeah, maybe it's
But
just I don't know. I was just one of those things where it's just like I'm sure she would have been very thorough in her checks,
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
and the fact that she walked past the body beforehand.
Yeah.
yeah, I did think that was weird that like she had been in that room for the baptismal like a couple
Well,
of times.
They said, was she in there when she hadn't taken the pills though? Because she said that she couldn't use her
That's
Yomu
true.
stuff when she
That is a really good
was
point.
there.
That's true.
So that makes sense. But the fact that she like, there was some of it that was just a little bit too conveniently action battle-y. That was like,
Yeah.
okay, I've seen this before. Okay, yep, she's got a ton of critical hits, but she's not actually dying. She's able to fly
Dude,
pretty well
how the
still.
fuck did those dudes live? I was like,
Right?
all right, cool, they're dead. They sacrificed
know.
themselves
Dude.
for the town. And then they were like, we're totally fine. And
then
I was
the
like,
It's like, oh, I've been
Yeah.
stabbed through the heart.
Especially-
That's fine.
Yeah, especially considering Claire when she got impaled, and she was down and out for like 2 days.
Yeah.
And then that one guy was like fine. It's just
Yeah.
like, what?
He was
Like,
you're-
fine.
That was
He's like,
super
I
weird.
got myself a crutch. I'm gonna kiss you now. Wah, 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 wah. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I guess that's why we got that scene right before where the man in black was like, remember, if you get hit in a vital area, it won't heal very easily. La 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 la
How
la la. And
convenient.
yeah, and then she immediately got hit in a vital area in like the very next story, and I was like, mm-hmm. So I mean, I guess it depends. Huh?
What, Dazzle?
It was convenient
Yeah, exactly. It was very convenient.
for,
It was
for a
fun.
story.
Foreshadowing.
It was super fun to read, but it was super convenient. It wasn't anything like, I don't think for me Claymore, it wasn't that I wasn't enjoying it, but it wasn't until I got to like the Teresa flashback arc that I was like, this is getting good. This is damn good. Like before that I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. This is okay. And then after I hit Teresa, I was like, damn.
I think that's what's so great about it, though, is that there's so many mysteries that are slowly unfolding.
Yeah.
And it's becoming more and more creepy in that way too. Like it's already a pretty unsettling plot line and just concept in general. And I don't know. I'm like kind of nervous to find out what else is going to happen,
Yeah.
but I'm really excited too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that through Priscilla, we very quickly start questioning the morality of things that are happening. Like for her, it was like Dazzle was saying, it was like blanket, black and white. Like this is wrong and okay, and this is not okay. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I thought it was cool to see her specifically through her vindication over all of that stuff kind of morph into what she became. And so it was like, who's doing the right thing? Nobody's doing the right thing. Like,
Yeah.
totally.
Claire's doing the right thing. It's Claire.
Is she though?
I don't even think she knows.
I think she's mostly taking orders right now. I'm
yeah, right
interested.
now she's just taking orders.
I cannot. I was happy that we read to 24, and then at the same time, I was like, oh, you gotta go, because the last thing we see is Claire being like, put Teresa into me. I was like, what?
I know. I was like,
Uh-oh.
And with that, I became the first to join of my own free will. I was like, Claire.
So I want to see. I'm hoping that like the next stuff we see is watching Claire become a Claymore and watching her from that flashback up to where we are now with her. I want to see. Maybe it's going to be a really good way to see what the process of what Claymores go through, too.
You know
Yeah.
what this story really reminds me of? Berserk.
Yep, me too. When I was reading it, I was like, this is very Berserky.
I mean, it's the exact same thing. Like Berserk had the whole ramp up to the, not to spoil, but to have like the whole ramp up to that major part,
Yeah.
and then it went back and did the whole flashback thing, and now it's ramping up again.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what this is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing too, actually.
Yeah. They're both like, Berserk, I think, from what we've read of Claymore so far, Berserk is definitely far more mature seinen, but they're both like that same horror, or not horror, like fantasy action, very deep shit. What? What? What are you laughing
Sorry,
at?
I just remembered Daz's shonen thing. So Daza, what do you call this? A shonen manga.
Because it's labeled
Okay.
on my anime list, it's labeled as a shonen. In genres.
It is serialized in Jump Square. Jump Square is a shonen magazine. Therefore, its demographic is shonen. But because Jump Square has a higher demographic readership, it can borderline.
But the genre is shonen.
It's
Right.
not the genre, it's the demographic.
Genre is shonen, right?
No.
Action shonen. Action fantasy shonen?
Yeah, fantasy shonen.
Fantasy
Is that
romance?
the
Romance shonen?
Daz, I'm sorry. I like just found out that this is a thing, that this like bothers you so bad. Erin was telling me about it, and I was like, oh my god. I have to bring it up on the next MangaPod, and it just dawned on me, so hey.
I'm happy.
Continue.
Demographics are not genres. They're not genres, guys.
Are you sure?
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out what all I can think of is that now.
I'm hoping that I'm not like breaking up because my facial expressions should be
No, you're pretty clear.
conveyed.
It's
You're pretty
crisp.
clear.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
crisp.
fine.
Crisp.
Oh,
facial
good,
expression.
good,
Yeah,
good.
pretty crisp.
Yeah. Like it.
What were you guys' thoughts?
Screw everyone.
Wow.
Except Erica.
love that.
Erica's nice.
You love
Yeah.
Erica's being nice.
Daz, this
Okay.
is like the third time you've been on a show with all girls, isn't it? Maybe it's only the second.
Yeah, Yoko keeps ditching out.
Yeah. It's like, did you
Being
know
like-
it's the ladies?
I can't. I'm sick.
Question mark?
Sick.
What were your guys' thoughts on the pacing of this story? I guess we kind of already touched on it, but did you have any thoughts on, like, was it too slow? Was it fast? How did you guys enjoy the pacing?
I think it's just right. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
I think
go
it's just
for
right
it.
personally. Yeah, I haven't had any problem with it. I didn't feel like I was being rushed.
Mhm.
I like the timing in terms of having a flashback. Like it didn't wait too long to have it, and it didn't start too early either. I think it helped. Like the pacing helped offer just the right amount of tension too. So yeah, I thought it was a great progression, and it went by really fast because of it.
Dude.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe we should read more. And then I was like, no,
Yeah.
I won't suggest that. It's not fair to the people who haven't started reading yet. I was just like,
I was exactly the same. I'm like, I am awake. I read it before bed, and I'm like, I am now really awake. I need to read more of this, like
Mhm.
right now. Then I'm like, I'm not going to do an errand. I'm not going to do an errand. I'm not going to do an errand.
I'm really bad at that.
yeah, because then it makes it so hard to remember like where we actually stopped. And you're like, wait, is this a oh no. Can I say this? Wait, where did we stop? I've been there before.
I'm pretty good at that, though, considering the number of times I have read far past what we were supposed to read.
True.
Evangelion.
No, that wasn't.
Wait, no, that was me.
That was Dodger.
I was the huge rotten
I've
bacon
read
butt that one.
past, what was it? Bloody Monday, Berserk. There's quite a few that I've read far.
Have you ever had that where you're doing an episode and then you just spoil something on accident that no one else knows?
I
You did
I
that?
spoiled a major character death because I thought that we
It
were
was a combination of faults. It was
Yeah, I
mostly my
thought
fault.
originally we were supposed to read to the end of the manga,
Mhm.
and I was like, cool. So I did that, and at a certain point in the day, Erin had texted me being like, hey, by the way, remember we're reading to this chapter, and I was like, yeah, I got it. But it turned out that we're like stopping way before.
Oh.
And so I was like, wasn't it crazy when this person died? And everybody was like, it was really bad.
It was
Oh,
so
no.
funny. It
Yeah.
was so funny.
The amount of confusion on everybody's face. It's just
Yeah,
like,
I bet.
That
what?
No.
I mean,
No.
because I've read all of Evangelion.
Yeah, I've read all
so
of
it's
it
not
too.
Really, So it's not like I don't know.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't
just
like
like
ruin it for you guys, but I felt bad for
The
chat.
chat
Just
was
being
like,
like, right?
Dodger!
Yeah.
It's like friend zone all over again.
Dude, when I was on Friendzone last week, I was having horrible paranoia that I was gonna spoil everybody's celebrity because I kept looking at it and I was like, wait, what if I say, oh no, I'm gonna ruin it all. I'm gonna ruin
Yeah.
it all.
When I read it for the first time, I always have, sorry, just really quick.
No, you're
When I
fine.
read it for the first time, I always have the urge to read it out loud. Like once somebody
Yeah.
has one on their head, I always want to be like, oh, Yoshi, cool. It's like, oh,
Yep.
game over, I guess.
Pick a new one. Let's go ahead and unless anybody has anything else they want to touch on, we can wrap up and give our final thoughts and ratings. Does anyone else have any other big stuff that they want to touch on? No? Okay. Perfect.
I actually, yes, there is one thing.
Yes.
I don't know if this is the guy in me wondering this, but we haven't seen their bodies, like the Claymore bodies. So I'm not sure what's actually in there. Like if it's actually like legitimate, like really hot, sexy woman body, or if
You've
it's
seen?
like
Did you miss the
proof.
chapter with Claire Butt? Because it was like chapter 2.
no. Claire Butt's fine. Claire Butt's fine. I'm thinking
But
more of like
their
the
fronts, like when
Oh,
their
Teresa
front
Teresa-
parts. Like yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I want
when
to
she's
know
like,
what's there, too.
"See what I am," and I'm just like, well, if the bandits really thought she was hot and sexy, they would just rush at her and do her, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's obviously something there
Yeah.
that's like not right
Horrifying.
or something.
Yeah. Well, they are part Yomu. We don't know exactly what that all means for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, what if Teresa's head is just in Claire's stomach?
Claire's like, do me now. It's just like a face, just rah.
Hey, no, I'm not gonna say that.
Oh. I kind of hope for that, but I don't hope for that.
Hope there's fan art of that.
Probably.
There should be.
If there isn't, there will be now.
There should be.
Don't look it up because it'll spoil you.
I know, when I was trying to find the picture for the thumbnail today, there was like, spoil, and I was like, no!
Aww.
It was really upsetting. It's a dangerous game to find thumbnails.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I want to give our final thoughts and ratings really quick. Does anybody want to go first?
I can
Chat's
go
just
first.
like, Claire's butt's fine.
Because butt's fine. I mean, nobody's
just like-
disagreeing with that.
No, I mean, I saw that. I'm just like, that's a nice butt. I mean, that's up there with Pixie butt.
Yep.
She do got a booty.
She's got really nice booty.
She got the booty, she do.
She do.
Do.
Okay. Let's see. What do I want to rate this at?
Oh, that's funny.
Because I know the story gets like really good. I kind of want to give it like a 7.5. Give it like lots of room to grow. Because it feels like after watching the anime, it feels like we've barely scratched the surface of what goes on in this manga. So I'm just like, oh God, I can't just like give it a high score right now. But yeah, I thought that it was super engaging. I thought that the art was fantastic. The characters are great. And the story is interesting and it gets interestinger. So.
Get out of here. Get out.
The end.
In the end. I'm gonna give it. I think for the part that we read, I haven't watched the anime, so I don't know anything else about it. I'm gonna give it. I really enjoyed the latter half a lot, so I'm gonna give it an 8 because overall, I thought both parts were really strong. I thought the latter half was much stronger, but I thought everything about it, especially for the start of the manga, was really well done. I thought the pacing, I thought the art was really nice to look at. The action scenes were fun enough. The timing of the flashback and the emotional bond and connection between Claire and Teresa. Teresa was a badass. Loved watching her. I thought all of the characters were fantastic and had a lot of depth, even though we haven't seen too much of them yet. And I am more than excited to eventually read more. So I'm going to give it an 8 because I thought it was a very It was a really good 24 chapters. I thought it was
Mhm.
fantastic and is deserving of that. It's above average for sure.
Mhm.
Daza,
Dazzle.
Erica, Daza.
That
I
first.
I think
Guess goes last.
oh, well, that's a bit mean, isn't it?
No, to give her time.
Oh,
It wasn't
okay,
meant to
if
be
you say so.
mean. It wasn't meant to be
Anyway, um, I think this manga, like all mangas, I think we read most at least, has some teething problems. Uh, in the earlier chapters. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It just all manga have a little bit of teething problems trying to get its ground, trying to understand what it actually is and what it does. And Aaron makes that face clearly every time. Um, but in saying that, it gets really good really quickly. I'm like, and I can't believe I'm saying this 2 weeks in a row, but I'm definitely going to go back and read more, like without MangaPod. Screw MangaPod, I'm going to read it without because
Wow.
it's actually really good. I mean, I don't. I'm not particularly a fan of the character designs that much, especially to start off with, because everyone looked like they were potatoes.
Right?
I mean,
Yeah.
more so than Aaron. Aaron looks like a huge potato, but then Logan's
Yeah.
just like, oh my gosh, potatoes
Potato
everywhere.
head.
Except Claire. Claire, for some reason, I find really attractive.
She's a hottie. It's that
Mhm.
butt.
She is.
She's a
It's
babe.
the lips as well. She's got the really lips.
She has
You know,
the
the
really
focus.
lips.
She has
She
really
has the
lippy
really
lips.
lips. Daza.
So, yeah, no, I don't like the
Uh,
character designs all that much, but I don't think you're supposed to. And they take a while to get used to. And yeah, I just hope that there's going to be a little bit more depth than just, oh, let's go kill Yomu. Yay. I mean, yeah, they turned, but then they could just kill that and just keep going like that. So I'm hoping that there's going to be some depth in that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think an 8. 8 is good. Yeah.
Yeah, I
somebody
think
called us out. Sorry.
no, go
Somebody
ahead.
somebody called us out for calling them Yomu for this entire thing instead of Yoma.
Oh no!
Oh,
I noticed that. I just saw that tweet. It's making me so happy that you keep calling Yoma Yomu.
Yomu.
Look, guys, we aren't Japanese, okay?
But
Yeah.
Some of us may be able to read and speak it, but we're still not Japanese, and it's funny like
So bad. We so don't speak Japanese that we mistake A sounds for O sounds.
I mean, God, we really need to get it together, guys.
we've only been doing this 69 times.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Jeez. I think we'd get it right by the 69.
All right,
Erica?
Erica, do it.
So I think that as far as we've read, especially after reading that flashback, I mean, there's definitely a lot of potential in this series, and I'm already like incredibly curious to know how it's going to keep unfolding. And um, I think that while the first part was very convenient in a lot of ways, like we were talking about, it's still one of those things where it has grown a lot through that flashback, and it offered us a lot more context, and it offered a way to further open up the story in a really interesting way, and in a really really good timing for it too. So I don't mind the art style. It was really unique. Like I didn't like certain parts of it. I really only like the look of the Claymores. I'm not really into the look of any of the other like village people. But that didn't really, I don't know, it doesn't really sway me too much in terms of the way I'll rate something. I think it's a lot more in terms of the story and the way it'll make me feel emotionally. And it made me feel just very emotional in several instances, particularly in that flashback. So I think that the fact that I want to stay committed to a series like that, I easily give it an 8. I would only give it an 8 at this point, though, just because we don't really know where it's going to go from here. Like most of us don't. But yeah, I'm really curious. I think it has a lot of potential. I hope I mean, it's been going for a really long time now. I mean, we were talking like 13 years, and it's going to be ending soon. So I'm really curious in a way to know like what's going on now.
Yeah.
Like
Been
in the
happening for
latest.
13 years.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like it's one of those things where it's like I wonder like as a whole what kind of grade I'll give this just because that's a lot. That's a lot of content. And how can you possibly create like continue creating original unique content in that way and something that
Yeah.
stands out so much
Yeah.
when you have that many years of it, right? So I have no idea, but right now I'd have to say an 8. Like it's a little bit of a slow start, but it picked up really fast. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
7.5 and 8s all around. We highly recommend
How many
it.
chapters is it?
It's 200 and some, I think. 400, 200. It's 200 to 400 in that range.
Oh yeah, because that's a really small range.
Yeah. You know, it's just a couple hundred. Couple hundy.
It's 150. Okay.
Oh, see, I was close.
that's not too bad.
Not too bad.
But it is finishing on the 4th, apparently.
I was gonna
the last
say-
chapter will be out on the 4th.
I was gonna say it is ending in like 4 days, so you might as well pick it up and just read through the entire thing. Just go ahead and read it. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we all recommend it. Let's go ahead and give our spoiler-free recommendation. No, just kidding. Description
For next week.
for next week. Yes, and chat gets to guess it. Daza, do you have it, or do you want me to pull it up?
I've what the how much we're reading or the what we're reading?
What we're reading.
I've got everything ready.
Awesome, hit it.
We're reading Berserk.
Daza.
Come
no
on,
idea.
the first word is guts. A black swordsman.
Yeah, you always
Blank.
you censor blank. It's not that
Blank,
hard.
a black
Blank.
swordsman. Jeez.
It's so obvious. I'm sorry.
Daza, the disappointment level I have in you right now is so high. It's in the 200 to
So
400
high.
range.
200 or 400 range. That's a big range.
Yeah, we're reading Berserk next week. Guess how many chapters we're reading? There. Give them something.
It's about
So many
200 to
chapters
400
we're reading.
chapters.
200
that
to
we're reading.
400. It's in the 200 to 400 range. We are reading Berserk next week, volumes 12 through 14, chapters 70 through 104. This will be, I think, the fourth time we're reading Berserk. I think that's right. Yeah, it's going to be the fourth time that we're reading Berserk. So if you want to go and watch the previous manga pods, they are all here on youtube.com/HappiLeeErin. So you can just go and check out the VODs of those. And then you can join us next week at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to watch that and talk about Berserk. It's going to get really good. If you guys have read the manga, then you already know what's going to happen. Don't post anything in the spoils, but oh my god, it's so good.
What's good about Berserk? I haven't read past what we've
Oh my
Oh
read.
my
God.
god, Aaron, what happened to your face?
I felt the Berserk, okay?
Ah!
I'm not sure. We're reading to the end of the Golden Age arc, aren't we?
Yes.
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 Ah!
Then I can finally watch the last movie.
Yes. All right, let's go ahead and shout out our stuff super duper quick. I am Erin of HappiLeeErin. I do anime reviews and anime first impressions, as well as mental health awareness videos, and all the previous manga pods are hosted here on my channel, youtube.com/HappiLeeErin. I'm going to be posting a video coming up here soon. 2 videos. It's my top 11-ish Hunter x Hunter moments, and I'm so excited. Hopefully you guys like it. So that'll be coming up this weekend. If you would like to find me on any other social media site, I'm HappiLeeErin all across the everything, but the ones I use most often are Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and Ask.fm. Me.
I'm Dodger. I have 2 YouTube channels, youtube.com/pressstart to continue, where I do gaming and nerdy adjacent stuff. Right now I'm playing Hatoful Boyfriend, and it's amazing, and the first part of the new Sherlock Holmes game just went up, so we got good shit happening on there if you want to come hang out. My other channel is youtube.com/dexterity bonus. There's lots of butt touching. youtube.com/dexterity bonus, where I drink coffee and talk about my cats, and that's it. So if that sounds interesting, you should come hang out over there too on all the social
candles.
medias. Yeah, and And candles. Okay. On all
I feel
social
like a
medias,
monk.
I'm at Dexbonus, DEXBONUS, and I've also been doing lots of streams. I've been streaming about 3 times a week on twitch.tv/dexteritybonus if you're into that. So that's it.
I am Dazzler from Flying for Nippon. I have a channel called Flying for Nippon, which is the channel, anyway, where I do anime type videos, including how to watch certain shows, because I know some animes are quite confusing. It's fine, I understand that. And I know some other people don't understand how to use Google. That's okay too. So I tell people how to watch things. I also do anime reviews. I'll be having my fall. Yeah, it's fall. I get confused. My full preview up quite soon. I actually have to make it first, but it's be up quite soon. And that kind of stuff. I also have a second channel, which is the Dr. Dazza, which currently is hosting the MangaPod vlogs, the Anime Expo vlogs.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. So go
If you're
check those
wondering,
out.
if you're wondering which one came out today, it was the one about VidCon.
Oh yeah.
So we have lots of lots of special guests. We have lots of special guests in that one. No, was it VidCon or was it Friendzone? No, it was Friendzone that came out.
One of those.
One of them. They'll be coming out
Something special
every day
happens.
for like the next week, correct?
Yeah, every day for the next week.
Yeah.
So yeah, go over there and check them out. You'll see lots of people like lovely Dodger, lovely Erin, basically because I'm living with her there. You'll see Yoku when he finally turns up, and a bunch of other things. I also am streaming on Twitch as well, and I'm streaming Katawa Shoujo every Sunday. So that's lots of feels, just lots of feels, lots of.
All the feels.
It's so depressing because I'm like, oh yeah, she seems alright. This girl seems alright. And like 10 minutes later, I'm like, oh my god, this is so sad.
Oh.
So
So cute.
we can join the feels train together if you come watch.
All the feels. Erica?
So, I'm Erica. I have a YouTube channel, just one YouTube channel for now, just called Erica Sabo. I mostly do video game and anime top lists. I do mostly in JRPGs, but I want to expand on that because I really like shoot 'em ups, bullet hells, beat 'em ups, and like I do a lot of retro gaming too. So I mean, I want to kind of dabble a little bit more into that and see what else I can do. For anime. I'm going to be doing a review for Baccano pretty soon that I'm really looking forward to. I also have a review coming up for Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. And
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sorry.
then it's so good.
It's so fun. Yeah.
World, you know?
Yeah. I loved it.
I have a review coming up for Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair, which is another really good game.
Ah.
I know you guys are gonna hate me for this, but I also have Super Smash Bros. On the 3DS here, which I'm
You bitch! How do you have that? I hate you so much.
I'm totally trolling everybody now.
And I also have this game that's not coming out for 3 months.
Lol.
So I'm gonna be reviewing that one too, and then yeah, I'm also gonna be doing. I totally forgot. I just passed 10K subscribers.
Yay! Congratulations!
Happy days! So I'm gonna
Yay!
be doing a live stream pretty soon. So I'm planning on doing Twitch stuff once I have my PC parts all ready to go. So yeah, lots of stuff coming up. But yeah, if you want to check out like updates, like if you want to keep up with what I am doing or more stuff in terms of like my vlogs and things, I do have my Twitter and I have a Facebook fan page as well, and an Instagram too, where I post a lot of like retro game finds and things like that. So
Awesome! Thank you so much for coming and being here
Yeah.
tonight.
thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
wonderful.
Oh, it's always so much fun. Always so much fun.
Yay! We love having you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Mhm.
Yes, thank you all to you too, chat, for joining us as
Yes, thank
well.
you, chat.
Oh, thank you so much. Yours is wonderful. You're wonderful chats. No rotten bacon butts. That's always a good thing. Always a good thing. So we will be here, same time, same place, next week at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to talk about Berserk, volumes 12 through 14, chapters 1, 7.
we are reading
Yeah.
chapters
70 through 104.
There we
I was
go.
gonna say 120 to 104, and I'm like, that can't be right.
That is so wrong.
There's no way that's right.
Something is really wrong here.
Something's really wrong. So we'll be here, same time, same place next week, reading and talking about Berserk. Hopefully our lovely guest, not lovely guest, hopefully your lovely co-host, Yokorama, will be here as well. I love him. If you would like to check out any of his stuff, by the way, he's Yokorama Game Talk. You can find his links in the description down below. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye! Bye!
Bye.
Bye.